This is Unpaid Critics.
It's been an eternity.
Hey, Saj.
Alright guys, welcome to the Unpaid Critics, where we review movies.
Yep.
And we just talk shit about them. And we have no cohibitions whatsoever. So today we're going to talk about Edge of Tomorrow. It's a movie released in 2014. And stars Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Storytelling.
Okay, so I didn't know much going into this movie. Supposedly it's also based on a manga, which is like a Japanese... I'm not a big manga guy, or anime guy, but supposedly, yeah, I remember reading or hearing that it was based on a manga. So, yeah, it's a sci-fi futuristic film. Humans are basically at war with an alien species that have somehow invaded the planet. And Tom Cruise is this guy that gets thrown into it all unwillingly. And soon enough, he discovers that, as you said, he's reliving the same day over and over again in the battlefield. So the story is definitely something that we've seen before, like, you know, Groundhog's Day or Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. But it has a heavy kind of sci-fi twist. So, you know, movies that usually involve some sort of time jumping or time travel, they have to be really careful. Because when there's so much room for error, you know, there is so much room for error, and it really can become repetitive and boring. But the movie has excellent pacing, in my opinion. The story, you know, they really have a lot of fun with the re-experiencing of events, which you can see in the movie. My only gripe, though, with it would be that, like, some of the characters, they really struggle to believe Tom Cruise and the fucking Emily Blunt when they try to keep, like, exposing what's really going on with Omega. Like, nobody can believe them that the day's repeating over and over again. So in my head, I was like, come on, dude, there's fucking aliens invading and shit, but, you know, you don't believe it when multiple motherfuckers try and tell you that these same aliens are using time as a weapon, like, suddenly that's, you know, too extreme. You know, the odds were always against them, I felt, but I understand that as a plot device, that's something that's necessary, and, you know, you really need it for there to be an interesting sort of progression, or else you really wouldn't have the film. But that's more of a nitpick. I really liked the story. I thought it was unique and creative. What about you?
I thought the same. I thought the story was pretty good. It was, I mean, I don't want to say pretty good to sound like it's okay. I thought the story was good. I think,
Right.
like you said, the pacing was on point. The one thing about the story that I liked as well is how they made it, how really they conveyed the struggle of having to relive the same day over and over, if you will. I like that, and I think story-wise, I think it was good. I think that's
it
one
made
of the
for some
strong
interesting
points
character development too, because you can really tell that, like, this was sort of like a gift and a curse at the same time for Cruise's character, because he was like falling in love with her, and
he spent so much time with her.
He spent so much time.
And I'll say one thing about character development. I like to crucify movies on their character development, and this is the one movie where it's funny
and your
how
name is Cesar too, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
a Roman tyrant.
Well, it's funny about this movie how the only character that really needs to get developed is TC, is William Cage, because the rest of the guys, they literally have to stay the same every time we see them. They have to be the same. So I thought the story was great.
I agree.
Popcorn factor.
So our next category is popcorn factor. This movie, I'm just going to go ahead and say it was entertaining as fuck. Now, we don't have a filter, so we can say that. Now, this movie, it probably has, in my opinion, the perfect blend of summer entertainment, which is weird, because I don't actually remember if it came out during summer or not. But, you know, what's funny is that I remember seeing the trailer in the theater, like, before some other fucking movie I went to go see, and to me, it looked like it was going to be a forgettable film. You know, I didn't know much about it at the time. I didn't really have an interest in seeing it. And after watching Oblivion, which was like another cruise sci-fi movie, I felt that was kind of meh. I didn't really think that this was going to be good. But the film is very entertaining, and it's action-packed. It's very, very fun to watch. You have to keep up with the story, obviously, but it's, it gets a little complex at times, but if you're following it and paying attention enough, there's really no reason for it to go over your head. It's got comedy, a little bit of romance thrown in, kind of, and there's the suspense, the drama, and the pacing ties into a lot of that, which is what makes it so enjoyable. It's like the perfect blend of everything, coupled with the fact that it's all handled so well. What did you think?
And you know what? I agree completely. And it's not so much... the pacing is incredible for this movie. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it is a long movie. It's not like a short movie. It's almost 2 hours long. I think the popcorn factor is what makes this movie. I think it's very entertaining. The pacing is
Absolutely.
just on point. It's one thing you don't like sci-fi or that's not your thing, but the fact that the movie just keeps at it just they just do things, and then it's been 10 times that he's already done that, and you understand that, but you don't necessarily have to see it. I thought the popcorn factors was if the movie had action. Like you said, it had action. It was funny. It was tense at times.
Right.
I thought the popcorn factor is the strength of this movie. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you how well they really executed it, because again, you never feel bored in seeing the repetition. It never felt monotonous, even though you knew that it was for him.
Exactly.
Performances.
And with that, let's segue into acting. That's the perfect way to transition to that, because that has to be challenging as an actor to really capture that frustration of reliving the same thing. And Cruise does it so fucking well. And let me say this, man, he's a weirdo in real life, but god damn it, he can act. And he's an internal actor. He's not like Johnny Depp, who actually completely remanipulates his entire instrument to create these unrecognizable characters. He's Tom Cruise at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But what was so great about this role, at least for me, is that, typically he's always the action star. He's the guy fucking killing people left and right. He's always confident. Here, he starts out completely the opposite. He's like the rookie who's doing everything possible to get out of combat, so you can see in his performance initially how he portrays that. And it was really refreshing, because you're not used to seeing him in these roles. But, then obviously as the film progresses, the son of a bitch becomes a fucking massive ultimate super soldier. I also really liked Bill Paxton. I think that guy's the fucking man, and it was actually kind of surprising to see him in the movie. I didn't know he was going to be in it. His character, I think, and his interactions with Cruz as they keep reliving the same day was fucking hilarious for me. And Emily Blunt, oh my god, dude, I really would like to put my penis in her gently. But seriously, I think she's a great actress, and she's tough in the movie. But she's also sexy, and she brings a kind of strength to her role that I don't think we get to see enough with female characters. I mean, maybe more so nowadays, sure, but she's not the damsel in distress.
Yeah, she's not.
Which was cool. She has this giant fucking katana, and she's killing aliens, which is super hot and amazing. So I thought the acting was all on point. How about you?
Dude, I thought the acting was incredible. I mean, me personally, I respect Tom Cruise as the movie star he is, and he excels at what he does. But like you said, he's not upper echelon like Philip Seymour Hoffman and you got what I'm saying, and Johnny Depp.
Right.
He's not that, but what he does, he's one of the best. And I honestly think that this is one of his best roles, and I'm gonna tell you why. That might sound a little bit like a hyperbole, like a exaggeration, but look, when he starts, he is Tom Cruise. He tries to blackmail the commander or whatever. He's typical Tom Cruise. I'm like, dude, the movie just started. I already don't like this guy. I don't like this character. Just being a little bitch. Yeah, he was being a little bitch. And then...
Yeah, he was.
But, dude, the character progression for Tom Cruise in this film is just insane, bro. From where he's a little pussy, he doesn't know what to do in war. He kills an alien. He's like, yeah!
And it's all in one day. That's
dude,
what makes the acting
crazy.
so awesome, dude.
And then what I really liked about it is the undertone. By the time he's already an expert, you can see his burden from reliving the same shit over and over. You can feel it. Like, it's hard to explain because he doesn't say anything, but you can just see it in his expression, his demeanor. He's already, like, tired of doing the same shit.
No, and that last scene when he walks in and she's like, "Can I help you?" And he just chokes up. You see, like, the water in his eyes,
because
man. Because
that's another character progression. I think the acting, the chemistry between Blunt and him is insane.
Yeah.
By the end of the movie, this guy is in love with her. You spent basically years with her, right? She hasn't spent a fucking minute with you. And then you can see that at the final act when he's like, "Oh, I don't want to let you die, blah, 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 both of us." But she couldn't give a fuck less. And she tells him, "Look, both of us are going to die right now. Like, stop fucking getting into your emotions." Dude, I just fucking love the acting. I think Tom Cruise just killed it in this film.
He did.
I think he killed it.
I completely agree.
Cinematography.
I'm not very technical, at least not when I initially watch a film. But it's something that I think remains present in my head, like, as I view the movie, and that I really tend to consider more and more as, I continue to think about a film as time goes on after I watch it. But, for Edge of Tomorrow, it's a very effects-heavy film. The design and creativity, I think, that went into coming up with, like, the exosuits and the aliens, and then presenting all of that on camera, I think the film looks good. Getting to rewatch, like, certain scenes, like, for instance, the beach landing scene, which was really cool because you have, like, these hundreds of thousands of airships flying around all over the place, and then, you have these, like, mechanized soldiers jumping from crafts and landing on the sand and in the water, and there's explosions. Like, there was a really epic scale and a sense that was presented, but I don't think that it was overdone or cheesy either, Michael Bay. So, is it a masterpiece? No. I don't think that this is one of those films that you're going to dissect, for the look of it, like, later on in film class, years from now. Maybe I'm wrong, but, it's a good-looking movie for what it is. And having so many of these, like, digital bells and whistles, it's a very cool-looking movie. And, some of the vision sequences are really cool, too, like, where they go into Tom Cruise's mind and, like, they show his link with the Omega. I thought that was also pretty cool. What were your thoughts?
I think you hit it right on the nail. I think it serviced the movie. It did its job. Like, the way it looked, it did its job. It wasn't something that I would go back and like, damn, do you see how this film looks? It looks so great. But at the same time, it's not bad at all. It's not. I thought it was good. I love the scenes of Emily Blunt just fighting with that sword, bro. That must have been.
She can handle my sword any day.
Dude, I haven't seen the manga either.
That's my penis.
I know it was based on a manga. I'm pretty sure that was fan service to the manga because it kind of fell out of place that she's the only one with a sword, but it was just fucking awesome still. I just loved it that she used the sword. And I think it was good. It did its job. It looked the part.
Verdict.
Agreed. All right, so the final word. In my opinion, if I had seen this earlier in the year in the theater, I think that I would have been even more pleasantly surprised than I already am now. And I also think that I would have enjoyed it more because a film like this really thrives in a theater setting. And I think I would have had a way better time watching it with an audience, even though I still really, really fucking enjoyed it. And pure and simple, like through and through, this movie is the perfect popcorn film. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And it was definitely one of the better films of the year. I'm a sucker for anything sci-fi, and this was an intelligent, unique movie. And, I think they used a direct approach with the time jumping. They didn't waste any other unnecessary time on setting things up. You get right into it. The pacing was great. The performances were great. The story, everything. So I would say if you haven't seen this movie, go fucking see it. What do you think, Cesar?
Dude, I completely agree, and I regret not watching it in the theaters as well. You know what? I don't think they promoted it right. It's hard to promote the movie in a way because it's without giving stuff away. It's just a movie you have to watch to enjoy, and I think it was it's exactly what it is. It's just a popcorn go watch in the theater movie. It's just entertaining, dude. I just don't know why it bombed, man. I think
Yeah.
this movie was awesome. It for sure is one of the top movies of this year. And whether you like
Oh,
sci-fi or not, the movie's just entertaining. Like
without a doubt.
it just keeps you on edge because whenever you think they're gonna do it, they don't. And they spend a small chunk of the movie just planning shit that it fails. Like when they're planning, oh, you turn to your left, blah blah blah.
Yes, I like that too.
It's just a small chunk of the movie, but they always make it seem like there's no hope. And then hold up, but what about this? I love that. I love that movie. The pacing is just great. I think I would give this movie a 9 out of 10, bro.
It's almost hard to believe that this is the same director that did Jumper, which was like a fucking horrible movie. But I guess I can kind of see it because like Jumper was also really like a heavy sci-fi film.
But I'll tell you this, in his defense, though, Jumper's problems had more to do with the plot holes in the script than actually the way it was directed.
Like the direction, yeah, I would agree with that.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I think this movie was awesome, bro. I just think it's an underrated
agree.
movie for sure, and it's one of the best movies of 2014. Whether you like sci-fi or not, it's just an entertaining movie.
Not to put in a sales plug here or anything, but dude, this is like a perfect stocking stuffer for this year, dude. Like if you like movies and you want to get something, or you know somebody that likes movies and you want to get them something small, bro, this movie, I think any fan of cinema could appreciate this fucking movie.
It's true. It's that perfect movie for when someone says, anybody knows any good movies that I can watch? Boom,
Yes.
Edge of Tomorrow, because I know you haven't watched it, because it's
Exactly.
underrated. A lot of people didn't watch.
Completely agree. All right, so this has been our first look at a film on Unpaid Critics. I'm Larry Bravo, and this is Cesar Conde. Thank you for joining us. The film was Edge of Tomorrow. If you haven't seen it, we both agree, which is quite rare. But the movie is stellar. You guys should definitely check it out. Please like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. We're just two dudes talking shit about movies that we love. And keep checking back for more content. We're going to keep reviewing movies as they come out. Thank you.